The Melid, he gave the main character some of his spiritual energy, and the main character had asked for it, and at first Melid wasn't going to give him any, and so the main character was going to turn around and ask the doctor and his first coon, and the Melid stopped him and gave him spiritual energies. Like, if you tried getting spiritual energies from anyone else, you could possibly kill them. And the main character's like, okay, which, that is true, but at the same time, we all know it's because the Melid was jelly. He didn't want the main character getting spiritual energy from anyone but him. So fiends, you can't touch their backs, or they will instinctively become feral beasts and attack you. But the Melid has none of those worries when it comes to touching the main character's back without the main character's acknowledgement or consent. He can just touch the main character's back without the main character attacking him one bit. We know there's some history going on between the two of them. We all know it. I'm going to say here and now, I need you guys to explain what happened the second half of the book, because I understand it and I don't understand it. Like, I'm going to tell the parts that I kind of understand, or the way I assumed it goes, but I am just so confused. Like, I enjoyed the whole second half of the book, but at the same time, I think I misunderstood the whole entire second half of the book. It also made me question, did I, misunderstood the first half of the book too? Like, I do not understand what happened at all. So the two highest ranking members of the clan, they're actually the adopted son and adopted daughter of the clan leader. And the adopted son is the one who's taking them to the spot. Like, he's the one who knows all the secret and information and how to get into the secret base of their clan. And so he takes them to it. And he was kind of hoping that all the hoops and loops and trials they have to go through to get to the area he's trying to take them to, he was hoping they were going to die, and the first coon calls him out on that. But yeah, he was hoping that they would die before they got to the spot. Like, he kept saying inside his head that they were getting what they deserved. But they kept pushing and getting farther and farther than he thought. And he was shocked each and every single time he passes, especially the Melid. And he knows the Melid's true identity. So I don't understand why he thought the Melid would suffer and die before he gets to the location he's supposed to get to. Like, make that make sense. The Melid is supposed to be the strongest celestial being, and he thinks the Melid could die during these hoops and loops and trials. Like, think, dude, think. So the secret location inside their clan is connected to the bazaar, specifically that barrow, that little location the Melid and the main character had found. It's connected to that. Yes, they're like one with each other, because the sack leader was taking bodies from this location and bringing it to this location. And because the main character's tree self is connected to the whole entire area, like, it is vines everywhere, it's also connected that way too. And that is how I read it. I could be wrong, but that is how I read it. So one of the wishes the main character could grant when he was a tree was the ability to go back in time. Yes, he could do that. But you know, the butterfly effect exists. So when you would go back in time, you might be able to fix the mistake you caused, but you would cause more issues and problems for others. For example, the main character's page boys, one of their lives was supposed to be able to grow up and become soldiers for a kingdom. But because somebody decided to go back in time to be able to live past their death due, they ended up dying instead and becoming ghosts, becoming reefs. And when the main character finally became a full-on god, became a high position, he unconnected himself to his tree self, basically sealed his tree self, and then his main job as a god was to go around and fix these timelines, basically make these timelines not exist. Basically make the people who went back in time go back to their actual timeline and live out the timeline they're supposed to live. And even though he fixed the Page Boys' timeline, some reason, even though they weren't supposed to exist at all as reefs, they still existed as reefs. Like, when he went back to fix timelines, he made those timelines that inverted and existed because people weren't going back in time not exist. So they shouldn't have existed. And so he ended up just taking them under his wing and caring for them and making him their page boys. So there was a guardian assigned to the bazaar to protect the bazaar before the bazaar was the bazaar. When the bazaar was just this dissolute, mindless, hatred-filled location, he was supposed to protect it, and he took people under his protection. Because again, I do not understand how this bazaar became the bazaar. And I know I said from the first half of the book that someone came around, collected all these bodies, and basically sealed them here to punish the Melody, but I also think that's wrong. Now I'm confused because the main character said he was the one who sealed away his tree cells parts. So I don't understand how these bodies got there. I know it's because the sack leader was going around collecting bodies and putting these bodies here, but I don't know how they ended up getting to repeat the lives over and over and over again every year, because it was kind of like a repeat cycle thingy. But other people come into the repeating recycle thingy. I guess that's what it was. Like, I'm just confused. But yes, the guardian was there to protect this location. But sooner or later, it drove him insane, and he started slaughtering and killing everyone around him. And because he knew he could go back in time, he would go back in time to when it all started, but it would repeat over and over again. He could not stop it. He just was making more and more timelines. And so the main character had to go and fix every single one of those and stop from every single one of those existing. But he also had to sit there and watch those timelines, start out first. He had to literally watch everything repeat itself over and over again. Watch this man go from a good, caring man to a monster, and watch all these children who were under this man's care just go through the most horrible situations. The main character was literally forced to watch this over and over because he couldn't do anything without creating another timeline. Like, it was super unfair. I felt so bad for the main character. I don't think I could stomach it. It's like watching ReZero. I feel super bad for the main character in ReZero for how he has to live his life in that show. It is just terrible. If you ever watch ReZero, you'll understand how terrible the main character has it in the show, and it's kind of just like the main character in this. He just has it bad. But one of these timelines kind of got created by destroying all these timelines, or it was a timeline he wasn't told about, and it's the timeline they're watching through the illusion. So the sack leader, he was one of the few people that saw the main character before the main character became a full-fledged god, if I'm correct, and he was supposed to die when he was 12, but he didn't. He grows older, he marries his childhood sweetheart, he has children with her. Those 2 children die in his place.